Play.
All right, you're good to go.
All right, you guys. So I don't know if you guys know me. I'm Cam McMullen. This is Darcy. We are both market mentors with Monat, and we work this business full time. So we wanted to kind of dive into what that means, but we also wanted to talk about what it means fitting this business into any type of schedule that you have, because it is so possible. So what I've kind of found is that it seems like a lot of people have a certain mentality about working Monat and about Monat in general. And it's this idea of if this, then that. Okay, so let's fill in the blanks really quick. So if I didn't have this other job that I had to be at all day long, then I would be so successful in my business. Or if I didn't have the responsibility as a mom or wife, then I would be totally successful in this business. Or if I didn't have to go to school 3 to 5 days out of the week, then guess what? I'd be so successful in this business. So what we're all essentially kind of saying is that if I have more time, then I would be successful in this business. And we're both here to sit here and tell you that that is the biggest myth in this entire sort of work from home entrepreneur industry realm. So it has nothing to do with the amount of time, but how you kind of create a daily routine out of that time that you do have. So I'm going to kind of use me as an example. So when I had 2 jobs, when I was first working this business and I was flying through the ranks, all that kind of stuff, I was doing the same thing every single day. I woke up at the same time. I ate breakfast at the same time. I went to my job at 8 a.m. I was there till 5 p.m. I went to the gym for an hour. I ate dinner. And then I knew from 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. that I was going to work my Monat business and be face-to-face with all of my girls. And I hustled those few hours because I knew that that's all the time that I had in the schedule that was already kind of created for me. But I always thought, like, wow, when I quit my job, it's going to be so awesome that I have all of this time to sit and work and do the work that I was doing in just those 3 hours. And so when I made the decision to quit my job and work this full time, it was a very big transition because all of a sudden, all of this time opened up. And it was so easy for me to let things get away from me and be like, oh my gosh, I have all this time in my day. I can do that later. And I would look up and it would be 4 p.m. Or, I would wake up a little later than normal and I would stay in bed a little longer. And yes, you guys, that is a huge perk of this business, but that does not breed directors and that does not breed $1 million earners. I would touch base with my team. I would go in the group chats. I would touch base with my upline, 3-2-1 method, whatever. But then I would get to the end of my day at 10:30 p.m. and I would not feel nearly as accomplished as I did when I was working that other job alongside Monat. And I kind of sat back and I was like, okay, these couple months where I've been doing this full time, I feel like I'm kind of doing worse in my business. And so I was like, what is that disconnect? What is the disconnect that, I had then, but I don't have now? It's not time, because I have all the time in the world, let me tell you. And it was the fact that before I had a set schedule, and now I have so much freedom that it's way easier for me to lose direction. A set schedule for every single day is what will make things happen for you and your business. Doing things in a consistent order. The key to success is in your daily routine. If you don't have a daily routine before you wake up the next day, guess what? You are already behind in personal life and in business life. So something that has worked really, really well for myself is writing down the things that I already know that I have on my plate, you guys. So setting sort of a foundation for the week. So for example, work, school, meetings, family obligations, children obligations, your own personal appointments, your children's appointments. And then the night before, filling in those gaps with the things that came up that day that were put on your schedule for the next. I fill in time for myself. I have 2 to 3 hours blocked off for when I go to the gym because that's some of the only time I have peace and quiet. But guess what? My team knows I'm not going to answer them from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. I go as far as penciling in friends that aren't in this business for an hour, once a week, because I still care about them and I still want that face-to-face time with them. Or 1 to 2 nights a week where I actually sit down and eat dinner with my mom instead of eating dinner on a team call. I schedule out every single personal thing that I have to do. I'm pretty sure Darcy and I were talking and she was like, I have like a 30-minute to an hour gap where I call my mom almost every single day. And it's the same time every single day. But that's what you have to do to make those things happen. But guess what? After I fill in all of those things that I have to do, I can still find 4 hours in the day, a minimum of 4 hours in the day, to work my business. And the key to those 4 hours are to not go to sleep until they're completed, you guys. So no, I don't sit down at 8 a.m. and do 4 hours of, in a row work. That would be mindless. That would end up me not getting half of the things that I want done. So I work for an hour here and there, and I do the things that I need and I want in between. And that's kind of where this idea of power hours come in that we've begun doing for all of our teams. It works because it's a short method of very strategic work. So for all of you that jobs are in school, when you work, when you have class, when you have tests and assignments due, because I was in school. I know that there's a syllabus that has your entire schedule mapped out for the whole semester. And I know that you get your work scheduled 2 weeks in advance. So there is absolutely no excuse to not have 1 to 3 hours in your day and to know exactly when that time is to sit down and go and do your guided work for your Monat business. And there's no excuses to it. So Darcy is going to kind of now go into mapping out her full-time schedule for you guys, and then also kind of leave you guys with some tangibles to really balance and combine that consistent daily business and personal routine. Go for it, Sista.
Thanks, friend. So I've sent this rundown, I think, in a couple of group chats before, just because I have a lot of people that will reach out to me and be like, how do you manage your time? I know you did this full time. Like, how do you make it work without, doing too much or overdoing it? And I feel like a lot of people too, when I'm prospecting and recruiting, they think that since I do this full time, that I literally do this for every waking hour that I'm awake. Absolutely not. I would off myself. No, I would be burnout. I would hate this business if that's what I had to do. That's why I quit the corporate life, because I didn't want to have to work 9 hours straight, that's not me. That's not my lifestyle. That's just not who I am. So like Cam said, I don't sit down and do it for 4 hours straight. I probably do it about 4 to 5 hours a day as well, but it's, spaced out. So I'm just going to kind of run through like my daily schedule. And this is literally my routine every single day until, it stops working for me. I'm going to continue to do it this way because it's working now. And so, yeah, this is how I like it. So normally I wake up whenever I wake up. My dog will wake me up at like 7. My husband goes to work at like 5:30 in the morning. So I'll get up with him sometimes, like have coffee with him before he leaves for work, kind of spend that little bit of time with him. But I don't ever sleep past like 9. And I know like sleeping in is beautiful. It's great. That's the beauty of this, like she said, but I feel like I'm missing out on so much opportunity. If I can get that one message in before a girl goes to work, it's in her mind the rest of the day while she's working. Oh crap. I need to get back to Darcy on my lunch break because like I'm really interested in the products or the business, whatever it is. So I get up, I try to get up before 9. So I also start my day with a phoneless like personal development hour. So I call like my hour phoneless personal development. I leave my phone upstairs on the charger and I come downstairs and I go to my TV. I go to Spotify or YouTube and I find a video or a podcast to watch. I make my coffee and I sit here with a notebook and I just focus in. I don't have any distractions. I don't have, an Instagram message. My dog might bark. Please don't bark. I knew it was going to happen. Something's happening outside. But I have an hour straight of just personal development. If my video is only 30 minutes long, I'll watch another one, or, I'll go back and watch one that really stood out to me that I watched last week or whatever. There's never too much personal development, honestly, that you can do in a day. So if I just at least give myself an hour of personal development, I am happy. And that is something that is huge and you guys should not be skipping out on. if you have a commute to work that's at least 15 minutes, listen to a podcast, because there are some, and there's a lot of YouTube videos that are only 15 minutes long. So, you know, use that time wisely instead of listening to Lizzo. I know we all love Lizzo and we listen to her on Max, but listen to a podcast because it will make a big difference in your business. So then after that, you know, I'll go upstairs, get my phone and respond to all of my texts, read all the group chats. I normally go to bed at like 10 and group chats are still going until like 2 a.m. sometimes because of time differences. So I'm like reading hundreds of text messages and I'll respond if need be, but I'll, you know, have my phone time and then I'll post my content. I like to make my content the night before while I'm laying in bed because you guys have been following me. You see that my husband falls asleep super early every night with his phone in his hand and the lights on. So I'm like, I'm going to take this opportunity to make my content. So I'll make my content the night before. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll make it that day because I have time to do that. People that are busy, I know it's really helpful to either have like a content calendar or, you know, in a power hour. I know on the Get Organized Power Hour, there's a spot where you can make content for the week, and that's every Sunday that we do those. So if you want to make your content on Sundays for the rest of the week, if you're busy, that's awesome because you can literally just wake up and post it and, you know, on your lunch break, kind of catch up on what you've missed, reach out to some people, whatever it may be. So that's what I'll do. After posting, I will normally just follow up with my leaders. We have a group chat where we're kind of just like, we like to hold each other accountable. If you guys don't have an accountability buddy in this business, you need one, because, you know, we'll say these are our daily goals and this is what I'm going to do. And if I don't do it, yell at me kind of thing. So I like that. I like to be like told, hey, Darcy, remember you were going to go live today? Yeah, you haven't done that yet, so you might want to do it. So I like having those people, and I actually have 3 of those people, which is really nice. So I'll reach out to them, check in with them, and then I'll do a power hour. I do a power hour every single day by myself normally. Sometimes I'll invite other people to do it, but then I get distracted if it's just like me and one other person, then we just start talking about other stuff. So I like to do them alone. And sometimes I turn into power 2 hours because I get so into it, but I don't sit and mindlessly scroll Instagram for hours and hours like I used to before I joined this business, because those aren't income producing activities. That's not making me money, you know, going to e-news and catching up on the latest breakups and the latest new couples or whatever. I do, you know, treat myself to my trash TV, and Cam can relate. We love our trash Bachelor TV that is just garbage, but we can't live without it. So we'll wake up earlier on those days, you know, on Tuesdays and Wednesday mornings. You better believe Cam and I are up an hour early so we can watch our TV that we missed the night before. But we don't want you guys to miss out on things that you love doing. Just wake up an hour earlier and do it, or stay up an hour later and do it. So but yeah, so that definitely has to be squeezed in at some point. And then basically from there, Michael will come home from work and I'll put my phone away and I'll be phoneless and focused in on him and our relationship. And I think that's huge because I have a lot of people who, when they first join the business, they'll say, oh, well, I'm losing time with my husband or whatever it is, my boyfriend or whatever. And they will say, hi, Sam. They'll say something like, he says I'm on my phone too much or whatever. Michael was the same way when I started. This was before I was, you know, organized and had my days planned out, because I was the person that was like, oh, I get to do this full time. I'm going to be on my phone all day, every day. Like, no, that's what's going to, you know, drive you crazy and drive your loved ones crazy. So when he gets home from work, I'll take, you know, that time normally from like 2 to 6:30. And I'll have my phone on me in case someone needs me, but I'm not prospecting, I'm not posting, I'm not doing any of that because I need that time. You know, you still need that time with your loved ones or things are just going to be bad. So that's what I'll do. I'll make dinner, clean it up, and then he wants to be on his phone because he's been at work all day. And so he'll sit on his phone and then I'll continue doing, you know, I'll follow up on that power hour that I did a couple of hours ago. If I got responses, that's when I'll follow up. I'll reach out to people, new people that I didn't reach out to in the power hour, whatever it is. I spend the rest of the night, doing that. If there's a team call, I'm on that, whatever it is. But I do that same thing every day. That is my routine every single day. It has been that way probably since like March or April. But that's what I do. I don't know what happened.
Okay, so it should be ready for your card whenever you
I don't
are
know.
back. Okay, perfect.
Okay, I think I muted. But yeah, so if you are someone who does this full time and you're kind of trying to figure out ways that work for you, try out different things. Maybe for 1 week you do one schedule, and then the next week if that doesn't work for you and you feel like you haven't done enough or you're doing too much, then change it up and do something different the next week. But like Cam said, I literally pencil in my phone conversations with my mom. Like, we talk on the phone every single day at the exact same time, and unless she's got a doctor's appointment or something going on, but the exact same time every single day. So I also have to pencil in my lunch because I forget to eat sometimes. Like, I'll be so like into my power hour and I'm like, oh crap, it's been forever and I haven't eaten anything. So it literally comes down to that. You can pencil in literally everything: your phone calls with your friends, your breakfast dates, whatever it is. Write everything down. If you don't own a planner, get one. The Passion Planner I know has like time blocks and like 30-minute increments. So like you can literally time out your day like every 30 minutes. They have them on Amazon, but even if you just go get a planner from like Target or something, that it's super cheap. You don't need to go and like splurge or anything, but writing things down is crucial. But my little tangibles and things like tips that I've kind of covered through my daily schedule, but using a planner, like I said, section off your time. If you are a 9-to-5er or you're a mom and you don't have much time in a day, nap times are crucial. All of my moms on my team like preach about nap time, how amazing nap time is, and how that's like their time to unwind and get some work done, maybe go live, whatever it may be. Utilize that time that you have free. Yeah, see, it's like the same time every day. That's how most of my girls are too. They're like, up 11:30. That's when he goes down for a nap, so I'll FaceTime you or whatever. So yeah. So another thing that I've found is super helpful is a content calendar. So I mentioned that a little bit, but I've made one in the past and shared it with everyone. And you guys can obviously like go off of that one. I can send it to you, but it was from a different month, so the days are going to be off obviously. But content calendars are huge for busy people because it's literally telling you what to post every single day. If you're someone who can't think of content all the time, it's really helpful because it will say literally on the 3rd, post a product spotlight, and there you go. And that's something that you can plan ahead. You can do it on Sunday. You can look at the calendar and be like, okay, Monday through Saturday or Monday through Sunday or whatever, this is what the content calendar says to do. So when you have that free hour on Sunday night before you go to bed, make all of your content for the week. Also talked about podcasts and, personal development, how crucial that is. Literally, even if it's just your drive home, if you have to split it up, if your drive to work is like 10 minutes back and forth, then listen to half of it on the way there and then half on the way back, or maybe put some headphones in on your lunch break and listen to the other half. But personal development, I know we all preach about it, but it really honestly changes the game and gets you just in the right mindset. That's why I like to do it as soon as I wake up. I don't even look at my phone. I do check what time it is, but I don't open it. I don't look at any of the text or anything. I just come straight downstairs and start personal development because I need to start my day with a clear mind and someone yelling at me. And yeah, so that is also important. Talking about weekends. So people that are 9-to-5ers and that work Monday through Friday, don't think that because like the weekend you aren't at work, you need to be working this business every hour that you're awake, because like I said, you'll get burnout and you won't enjoy it anymore because you're going to be like, oh, my only free time is working this business. And when I was working 9 to 5, the weekends are my time to do my errands and, get the house cleaned and do all of the things that I wasn't able to do because I worked all day and then came home and made dinner, showered, went to bed. So, the weekends don't have to be like that. If you have, like Cam said, 4 hours, doesn't have to be 4 consecutive hours, but you can do an hour when you wake up. You can do a power hour midday, and then an hour after dinner, and then an hour before bed. Doesn't even need to be 4 hours. It can be just 3 hours. As long as you're putting in at least an hour a day, and if you make that hour a power hour, I promise you, it sounds crazy, but it will be so effective and it will change the game for you. So don't think on the weekends just because you're home and you're free that you can't, go and do the things you still like to do. How I look at it, my people here that are off on the weekends, I don't have many friends in Puerto Rico, but when they go out on the weekends, if there's a team call, I'll be like, all right, well, I'll Uber and meet you guys later because I have to be on this team call. And I'll just meet up with them. I missed an hour of drinking, but okay, my liver thanks me for that. So don't, miss out on things that are fun, but also don't put your business on the back burner because you'll regret that. Another thing is going live during your free time, or take a video. When you're getting ready for work, you don't have to edit it and post it in that same day. But if you, happen to get up a little bit earlier for work that day and you have time to take a video or a time lapse or whatever of you getting ready and doing your hair or even just doing your makeup, whatever it is, showing your face is huge. If you guys haven't gone live yet, do it. It's going to be terrifying the first time because I remember the first time I did it, I was like patting my face off with sweat because I was like hyperventilating a little bit, but it was fine. I lived. I'm still alive. That was over a year ago. So do that in your free time. If you can't think of something to do, film a video of you doing your hair and edit it when you have free time and post it the next day for content. But showing your face is huge. And yeah. I also have on here showing or utilizing nap time, which we talked about, and stop mindlessly scrolling. So if you're free time, if you find yourself just scrolling through Instagram, take the scrolling to the popular page and find girls to follow and build relationships with, because that is going to be beneficial for you instead of, just scrolling and looking at dumb stuff. Yes. So let's see. I think just use your time wisely. Never stop recruiting. Never stop building relationships. Talking to your current VIPs is something that I think is really, really important, and not even just about the products, but building relationships with them and becoming their friends. Because one, the closer you guys get, the more honest they're going to be with you. If they, aren't liking the products, they're not going to feel like, oh, I'm scared to tell her. They're going to be like, oh, we're cool now, we're friends, so I'll tell her, hey, I'm not really liking this product. Or maybe they're afraid to ask about a new product they see you talking about, but they're afraid to reach out to you because you don't really know them. They just ordered products from you. Build relationships with them in your free time, because not only is that going to be beneficial because they'll reorder from you, but they also might want to become a market partner and join your team. So almost half of my market partners have been VIPs first that, I've built this friendship and this relationship with, and I've kind of just, when I'm checking in with them and they're like, how are things? I'll be like, great. Like, this business is amazing. And I'll just hype up the business. And then they're like, oh, well, okay, well, I want to do this. So don't forget about your current VIPs. Obviously still be recruiting and still be reaching out to new people and finding new clients and all of that, but don't forget about the ones that you have now because they obviously will benefit you more than someone telling you no or ghosting you. And yeah, so just find a routine that works for you, and if it stops working for you and it gets to a point where you're kind of just like stagnant and things aren't really getting better, try something else, change it up. If you're, not doing a power hour every day, try doing that. But routines are super, super important to be successful because, I don't know, at least they've been for me this past year that I've, been doing this. Once I started with my routine, things took off. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no.
I agree. No, so one of the videos that I actually got a lot of inspiration from with what I was talking to you guys about was from SCD Brittany, and it's on the Facebook page, but she was talking about this book that she was reading, and it was like this entrepreneur that was talking about success, and the first like, or it might have been like an audio book. The first like 10 or 15 minutes was him talking about his daily schedule. He woke up at the same time. He read the same newspaper at the same time. He had McDonald's breakfast at the same time every day. He did all of these things at the same time. And it was all to show you that it comes down to a daily routine. It comes down to knowing what you were doing the night before that next day or the week before that next week. You can't just get to each day and have no clue with what you're doing, because you're going to get to 4 p.m. and you're not going to do anything in your business, and you're going to be like, oh well, the whole day is gone, let me just wait till tomorrow. And that's not going to get you anywhere in this business. If you are not full time in this, then you need to set your foundation for the week. If you have school, you need to map that out, and then you need to fill in the gaps with this business and with your personal things that you want to do. But prioritize. Don't put nights out drinking over a team call for your business. If you have work, you know that 2 weeks in advance. Put that down on your schedule and you fill in those time gaps, you guys. There's no excuses to going to bed and not working your business. And we wanted to do this just to show you that there's not only success in this business working it full time. It's actually harder. It is way more challenging to have more time in your day. So take advantage of the fact that you are lucky enough to be able to work this business alongside another job, because you have plenty of time, you have all the tools that you need, and we just mapped out exactly what you need to do for this upcoming month. So let's get off this call. Let's start planning a daily routine that works for us in our own personal schedule and kick ass in September. And I can't wait to freaking see everyone in Monations. Like, are you kidding me?
And we're doing team calls every Thursday now at 8:30. So there shouldn't be,
Write that down now.
Right. Any excuses for next Thursday that people, unless you're working and the schedule's already been made, obviously. But yeah, don't tell me you didn't know about it, because it's an every Thursday thing now. So look, she's at work right now and she's on this call. Love it. All right. Well, yeah. So thank you guys for coming on. Thanks, Cam, for doing this with me.
Yes, you too. I hope you guys got a lot out of this and have a great rest of your night. Bye, ladies.